Let me see if I can figure out how to. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing. Can you guys hear me okay? Hey Liz, can you hear me okay? Okay, good. All right. Liz is here. Lance is here. Rebecca is here. Cool. It's a party. Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you for spending a few minutes here with me, or however. I want to, you know, I don't want to hold everybody for a long time, but I just wanted to answer your questions that you might have, or try to answer them, or maybe somebody else here can answer the question based on their experiences using the telephone. But I just wanted to try to help any way I can. Rebecca had posed a question. She had a prospect the other day that emailed her and wanted help, but didn't have the money. And I thought that I think it was either Steve or maybe or Andrew, I think it was, had mentioned that he kind of calls their bluff, and you know, just sends them the link and explains, you know, why it's important that they get involved, you know, to the UOIS, so they can kind of get a taste for free. And sometimes they wind up upgrading, and that's true. As Liz and Lance, you know, Dr. Land always said that people lie. And the reason they do is because they're not sure about you. They're not sure about what it is you have to offer them and whether or not you can help them. So the first inclination is to tell you they don't have any money. And that's their way of kind of putting you at bay. So let me see if I could figure out how to. I see I got a raised hand. Let me see. Oh. Okay. Probably the easiest way to do this, guys, is if you have a question, is to just kind of put a question mark in the chat, and I'll see it. And, you know, or write it out in the chat if you can. I'm not sure how. Oh, wonderful. Okay, well, what did I just do now? Okay, so we'll just give a minute or two here extra, and then we'll I don't know what the heck I did here. I don't know what the heck I did. Anyway, so let me just grab a cup of coffee here real quick, and then we'll get started. Okay. I'm assuming, guys, that that the chat is still working. So as I said, put a hopefully the chat. I did something in the other spot that the other view I had of everybody is gone, and I can't figure out how to get it back. So if somebody sees what I put in the chat there, this is the first webinar I'm holding on this platform. So I was so beat last night, I didn't get a chance to go through it all and kind of see what was going on. I thought it would be pretty intuitive, but I've already run into a problem here. So I do apologize, but if you guys see the chatting with me, asking if the chat's still working, if you could just enter something in there so I could see if I could see it on this end, so I could see what you guys are and Lance, if it's not, I don't know if you have availability of a phone. But if you do, if it's not, if I've somehow screwed this up, if you wouldn't mind giving me a call at home and letting me know, because I can't see your, I could try to fix it, but let's go ahead and get started. So, phone prospecting. What I generally do when I talk to people, prospects on the phone, it's a little bit different when when you're just calling random prospects versus when, if they call you or they ask for your help and you're going to set up a conversation with them. The first thing is, I tried to explain to you, Rebecca, in the chat, is I very rarely, unless I'm totally, not really doing much of anything, I always try to set up an appointment with them to do the call, rather than just say, yeah, okay, call me, because that kind of gives it sets up an expectation or an aura in the mind of the prospect, that you're busy and you're serious about your business, and you don't just, drop everything to to talk to somebody on the phone. They have to make an appointment, just like you would with a doctor or a lawyer or any other profession that provides professional services. Because that's what we are, guys. We're coaches. We're here to help people who want to learn how to create a lifestyle of their choosing, rather than one that is dictated by circumstance. So we want to help them to have life, have them be in control of their life. Yo. Hey. How you doing, bud? I am, yeah. Did I disappear? Did I leave the webinar? All right. All right. Thanks. All right. Bye. Okay. So, thanks, Lance. Thanks. I appreciate it. That's kind of the expectation that we want to set up. And Rebecca, what I usually do is I give them, I was a little, remiss there, and when we were talking in the chat, is you generally want to provide them with two options. Okay, for example, if you send them an email, they send you an email and they say, gee, I need some help. I'm struggling here, but I don't really have the money to get involved in this right now. Can you help me? So you send them an email and you offer them some assistance, and you say, look, we can chat by Skype, we can talk by phone. I have, later today at 3 o'clock, or I have tomorrow morning, anytime between 8 and 12. What would be best for you? And let them know, what time zone you're in, because we are dealing globally, so you don't, and let them choose or pick the specific time that's right for them. and then let them know that, you know, you are putting that in your schedule and that you expect them to be there, and that if they are not there or cannot make it, ask them to please let you know via email or Skype chat or whatever. Hey, I can't make this. Can we reschedule? So that's the first thing that I do. So that way they kind of have a feeling that, you know, you are serious. You're blocking out time, especially for them. And if they want the help, they better be there. Now, once I call them, the first thing I do is I get them talking about themselves. I ask them questions like, what are they promoting now? How are they promoting it? What methods are they using? What kind of success they are having? Are they building a list? That's key, guys, because 99% of the people out there don't know, believe it or not, as much as it's talked about on the internet, excuse me, they're not building a list. What they're doing is they're maybe taking an affiliate product or whatever business opportunity they're in. They're taking the link that the company gives them and they're throwing traffic at it. But they're not having any way, shape, or form to collect email addresses of the people that come to their website. And so if they don't catch them the first time they come, which is 99.999% of the time, as we all know, they're gone and you've lost them and probably never see them again. So I want to find out what they're promoting, whether they're building a list, and what methods are they using to promote. Okay, so those are the three basic things. And once they tell you that, the other question I would ask is, well, how's it going for you? What are the major problems that you're encountering while you know, working your business? What things you seeing that are problematic for you? And 9 times out of 10, the first thing they're going to say is leads, if they're building a list. If they're not building a list, they're going to say, well, money, making any sales. So those are the two things that that you want to find out there. You want to get them to talk about themselves, about their business. This is the way you build rapport. And say, for example, they say, well, you know, and once they have kind of finished, you know, you could say something like, you know, I understand, I totally get the problems that you have. When I first started online, I felt the same way, or I found the same thing. I had trouble getting leads, or I had trouble getting sales. And then once I started implementing some simple strategies, you know, I found that those things were no longer were a problem. Would it be of value to you if I could show you those simple strategies? So you get their buy-in. Once you allow them to talk about themselves and you build a little bit of rapport with them, they begin to trust you. And once that happens, you got them. Once they trust you a little bit, generally you have them hook, line, and sinker. Now, if they truly don't have any money, or they truly don't have you know, the financial backing to move forward with you in the in our business, then what I would ask them to do is to, excuse me, is to share some, would it be of value to you, like I said, if I could share some simple strategies with you that I use? If they're not building a list, explain to them how it is that you build your list, the use of capture pages, the use of autoresponders, things of that nature. Set up a separate time with them where you can show them these strategies so that they could see and show them some of your results. Look, these are the results I'm getting capturing leads. These are the leads that I'm generating, and these are all people. Make them understand that those are all people that you can follow up with forever, with whatever you want until they unsubscribe to the list, and make them see the value of that. Then they will start to say, well, okay, this guy, it seems that he has a idea of what he's doing, and maybe he's the person that is willing to help me. Makes sense so far? I'm assuming I don't know what the heck I did with this webinar, but I'm hoping that this all makes sense to you. Now, once they've agreed that what you have to offer is something that they need, then you come back to them and say, well, okay, if we're going to proceed with this, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some effort. And whatever I ask you to do, I expect you to do. Are you willing to do that? There will be some financial investment there. Are you willing to make that investment? And if they're serious, they will go ahead and make some investment with you if they're serious about their business. If they say, well, no, like I said, I really don't have any marketing budget, I don't have any money at all, then you just tell them, well, look, what we do in our business is going to require some financial investment. In other words, when you open a brick and mortar business, you don't do that for free now, do you? You don't go down to 4th and Market in Philadelphia and open a storefront and not have to pay anything. You have to invest in your business. And I want to help those that are willing to make the investment and to understand that it's not, you get you spend free, you get free, you get nothing. You don't spend anything, you don't get anything. So that's basically what I do when I talk to people on the phone. And if they start asking too many questions that you're not comfortable with, you just say, look, I can see you have you have many more questions. And rather than, take the time now, why don't we do this? Why don't we set up another session with my business partner. And this way we can get all your questions answered and move forward. And tell them that, look, he's very, very busy, but I can schedule. It would later today be better, or would tomorrow morning or after or evening be better? And then let them schedule that, and then get one of us, get Beth or get me or get somebody else if you're not comfortable with handling it yourself. You know, and we'll do the three-way call with you, or we'll get on chat and we'll work with your prospective client to bring them in, or to get them to at least commit to work with you and spend a little bit of money to get themselves started. Whether that be just going in for the $7 trial. And so we can get them started, get their system set up, and get them started so they can start collecting leads and see the value of what we have to offer. So hopefully this makes sense. It's not real involved. It's pretty simple. It's just basically talking to people, finding out what their pain is, and then providing a solution to that pain. That's all it is. That's, you know, everybody, well, what if they say no? So what? What if I say something wrong? So what? They don't know what you're supposed to say. They don't know what, you know, when you're sitting in a play and you see somebody on stage and they screw up their line, you don't know they screwed up their line because you don't know what the script was. Neither do they. They don't know what the script is. So very rarely can you say something wrong, except if you insult them or, you know, call them an idiot, or, you know, tell them they're a loser or something like that, because they don't know the way the call's supposed to flow. You know that. You know that. You want to get them to talk about themselves, so you build the rapport. You listen. Remember, God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. It's because we're supposed to listen twice as much as we're supposed to talk. So get them talking about their business, find out what their pain is, what they're really having trouble with, and then provide the solution. So that's basically my spiel here for today. Does anybody have any questions? And hopefully I wish I didn't. I'm going to try something here, guys. Just give me a second.